Hello and welcome to Travelers, Episode 3. I am your host, The Helmet Fire. Joining me this evening is Erik Digital.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And CrayZJaye.
What up, what up, what up?
Returning this week is Mr. Contrabang.
Hey everybody, how are you?
Angel Zero is still going to be out for a couple more weeks. She is in the middle of a transition. She's moving, so we wish her the best on that. We'll be looking forward to having her back. We have a pretty interesting episode this week. We're going to talk about some progression as well as some Iron Banner stuff with the weekly reset. We got some controversy brewing about in the Destiny community. Nothing new there. And then we also are going to talk a little bit about Guardian Con. It's an upcoming event in July. So we'll go over that. So right off the bat, we're going to start with gameplay progression. We are now in, what is this, the second or third week of the expansion?
Third week today.
Third week today, right. This is the third week. The weekly reset was today, Tuesday. Today is Tuesday the 22nd. And so what do you guys, how's everybody doing so far? Where's everybody's light at? Are we doing any in-game stuff? What are you guys working on?
Well, I haven't been able to raid because my whole clan is yet to come back, so I'm still doing LFGs. But so far, so good in terms of the strikes and the nightfalls and all that. I think I capped all the activities on one character. I ended up doing the Sleeper Simulant quest, and then I started working my second character. Unlike all of you crazy people out there who can play 3 characters every day, I'm a weekender, so I do what I can.
I am approaching 380 slowly. Hopefully this week on one of my characters will be 380, maybe 2 if I'm lucky. If I don't get hit with some bad RNG and get some decent drops from the Leviathan. Did my first escalation protocol clear this weekend by accident. I was just roaming around Mars and chasing down some of the sleeper nodes. Wasn't really paying attention. Got an invite to be the 9th man in a team, so that was pretty cool. Got the Warlock bond. And that.
Nice.
Other than that, still haven't hit the new raid just yet. Maybe this weekend when I have a solid chunk of time to devote, then I'll try to get into one.
Yeah, I'm at 364 light. Doing pretty well. I haven't cleared AP yet, protocol yet. I got to the boss part of the raid, but didn't attend the boss fight. It was too late for all of us, so we just got off. But a fun grind. Haven't hit that wall yet, so that's good.
Yeah, for me, so this week is actually step 3. Well, I'll get to that in a second. So as far as like my, playing the game, I'm only like 351 light. I'm still grinding that out. I'm still trying to get some milestones done for this week because it just reset. I did get something interesting. I did get my first Leviathan raid clear. So since Destiny 2's come out, well, I switched platforms when Destiny 2 came out from Xbox to PS4, and I did that because PS4 is still getting exclusives, and I'm a little bit more involved with side projects as far as like machinima or making montages and stuff, and having those extra assets available to me is something I find value in. Not that I agree with that whole thing, but it is what it is. But
that's trader talk right there.
Yeah, I know. And funny because Contra and Jay specifically were some of the people I played with the most on Xbox, so they still are not letting me live it down. But know,
I had a week of inactivity in the brain. I'm like, well, what is he? He's gonna start over again on PS. Oh my God, no.
Yeah, it was like, everyone's leaving. Yeah, well, a lot of people. Realistically, I think more people switch to PC rather than a PlayStation or Xbox. They went from a console to the PC because, the Church of Unlimited Frames, as Tefty Teft would say.
Yes, so, awesome.
And I'm sure I'll get there eventually, but probably not till like Destiny 3 or something. It's a lot of money investment, realistically.
Yeah, you're watching one of those streams at 60 frames per second, and then coming back to console. It gets kind of annoying. But you play some other game that's similar, and then you go back to Destiny, and you don't notice the difference. So, one of the things I try to do is avoid Destiny streams before I go to console, so that the slow frame rate doesn't bog my mind with yells of pain.
Yeah, well, going from PC to Xbox, like the Xbox, I can't do it anymore. It's just it's like watch. It's giving me a headache. For our first couple games or so.
I think I'm forever locked into the 30 frames. I mean, and like I said, until I can get the money to upgrade to 4K and everything, it's gonna be a while. But it's fine. I mean, honestly, when I do my montages and stuff, I usually render at about 24 frames or 30 frames anyway, just for the look of it, but that's me,
Sure.
But as far as Escalation Protocol, I'm still under leveled for that. But I did get the Leviathan clear, and the reason, so real quickly, I actually, since Destiny 2 came out, and because a lot of my friends list just dissipated for one reason or another by switching, I really didn't have a raid group anymore. So I had never actually finished the entirety of the Leviathan raid. I have done an Eater of Worlds clear with an LFG group once. And then for the new raid, I haven't really touched it yet. But, as I get higher in light, I absolutely plan to. It was a lot of fun. I finally got the Acreus, although I have to beat the damn Leviathan again to, max it out, right? To, be done with the quest. But it's kind of fun. It gives me something to do. Side note, whenever I get time, I need to get together with some people to do Rat King, because I don't have that gun either. So I need to get that gun.
Is it back?
Yes.
Well, I still have the pursuit for it, so I still need to just do it. But you need friends to do it with, so...
Yeah, we can run one if you want. We'll after this, or sometime this week, we'll...
hey, look at that. Thanks, man.
The Rat King is available again. I think they fixed that last week, so that's nice.
Oh, yeah, they had that lockout. That's right. I forgot about that. I didn't even have the gun, so it didn't apply to me. I gotcha, suckers. You're not going to get me, bungo. No, but anyway. So, along with the weekly reset, we have Iron Banner returning this week. What do you guys think about that? Season 3 ornaments are pretty hot. I'm not going to lie.
I haven't played it yet. I just saw all the stuff that's available. It looks great. I love the color scheme. I love the like silver and greenish kind of scheme. Looks pretty cool. As far as weapons go, I'm not too sure how they fare with past iterations or the current meta. So, but it looks like pretty cool. Was it like white and green? Sorry, not silver, white. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, played a few matches. My clan before jumped on here. Felt good. It's nice to play with a group of 6 again. And of course, we had the 6v6 before the season 3 launched, but more people seem to be playing now, so it's hopefully that maintains to continue. Yeah, I'm looking forward to grabbing all the banner weapons, the ornaments. I think that the super kills and the heavy weapon kills are going to take me a bit, but if I focus, I might be able to. Well, it probably won't be this Iron Banner, but maybe the next Iron Banner I'll finish all the ornaments, try to get my milestones done for the week, and play Banner as it comes.
On my end, I play it for fun, right? Because I don't know if it's just me, but since Destiny 1, the guns for Destiny 2 for Iron Banner haven't been that much of an advantage in the Crucible. So I kind of feel like there is really sometimes no point. But it is, when I first started playing Destiny, it was an Iron Banner rig, and that sort of staple became a norm for me. I wasn't a Trials, of Osiris person, but whenever Iron Banner came around, I made sure to get, the Etheric Light on Destiny 1. And it's sort of like a tradition for me to go back and, make Lord Saladin happy. Although his narration on the Crucible needs some terrible work.
Yeah, I'll agree. Gunplay is everything in Destiny, right? And usually it's not that the game doesn't feel good to shoot the guns. It's just they're very bland. There's no identity to them. It's like literally the only thing out of Iron Banner weapons you're going to get is the way they look, and that's just so not a big deal, you know. It's at least to me. I mean, yeah, they look cool, that's fine, but like, why do I care to get them? You know, I would like to see them do a little bit more with that.
Yeah. And on our first episode, I spoke about the differences in weapons and how they feel better, much more like they used to do before in the previous game. And they did have that sound, and they took away some of that plasticky feel to it. Like you said, the blandness. It does feel better. The gunplay does feel better. I haven't gotten one of the weapons today, so I'm not going to, predict that it's more of the same. But I'm going through by experience here. I'm going citing this from the experience that we had over the nearly course of a year already with Destiny 2.
Right. So really quickly, this is kind of a reference to when it comes to random rolls and stuff like that, So with the Bungie development roadmap in September, that's the big expansion. That's when they're going to have, and this is what it says. I've got it pulled up right here. Gear collections, records, weapon slot changes, weapon randomization, new gameplay modes, and more yet to be revealed. So weapon randomizations will be whatever their version of random rolls is. So that'll be exciting.
Silence from the crowd.
I've always been on the fence with random rolls. I felt like it was nice getting a god roll, or at least a roll that was above average, but it was always chasing the god roll was always the thing that I did after I had nothing else to do in the game, after my, I guess, D1 milestones were done, I guess, or my raids were done, or my Challenge of Elders was done. Then I would go after and say, all right, well, it's Saturday, it's Sunday, it's Monday, I've done everything, I guess I could just do this and try to get this gun. But it always felt like an artificial way of extending the longevity of the game. In D2, I think if the perks were just more interesting and there were just more perks to offer in the guns, then that might be a fair middle ground. But it does, it does sound like weapon randomization is coming back, so we'll see how that plays out when that appears. So
I think they definitely need. Oh, go ahead, Contra.
Oh no, I always thought in the release notes for Destiny 2 that was a mistake. Removing that ability to sort of outplay each other, because that's the whole thing about a Crucible. Multiplayer modes. You're really there to outplay the next guy. If you're like me, you're not. You're there to chill more than the next guy. But most people tend to go into this matchmaking system to better each other. That's what all the other games are about. That's why you see so many competitions all around the world for different game systems. So when they removed that competitiveness article from the game and they gave the ability to everybody to have the same role, it did really kill a lot of the people that were good for one reason or another, like you said, maybe artificially, because they had a perk that gave you more chance of a headshot, for example.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that was in an effort to level the playing field, I guess, in a way. Like there's no edge, I guess, or remove some of the randomness, like getting what was the Hawk Moon perk, the Luck in the Chamber,
Yeah.
So that I could understand, but I mean that's not where the game.
Hey, I rolled a hopscotch pilgrim to perfection, and I think that's the gun I use on Crucible all the time.
That thing was a beast.
3 trigger pull. Yeah, 3 trigger pull, people were dead. Sometimes 2.
So I thought I was going to like static rolls at first. That's be a great idea. But I was under the impression, that Bungie, they were going to make a lot of different weapons with different perks. Not endless pool, but a good amount for us to be satisfied with, and have different type of archetypes with, or different guns with the same archetype but different perks, But that wasn't the case. So you're not going to miss random rolls. And they kind of removed that for me at least, that grind to chase something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Some of my best times were grinding for the Grass Malik.
Oh my god!
You know, God, bro. that was just grinding. That was awesome. You know, hashtag 2Blues. You know, it was a great time for me. It was fun.
Yeah, I can tell you how you can get that gun back. Redrix's Claymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hey,
but
that's the grind too, man. It's just on the other side of the spectrum, you know. So, you know, we talked about the weapons for Iron Banner. So we agree that we're all, you know, weapons-wise, still waiting on some more flavor to come into the game in the way of weapon randomization, and I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with that. On the cosmetic side of things with armor, the armor ornaments so far for last season and this season are just, everyone collectively seems to really like them. I know I do. And the one area that they've definitely gotten right is that there's a grind for them. Last season, season 2 ornaments, there was only one that was a really hard grind. I think it was the chest piece. And It took a while, man. It took a long time to get that. And then in this one, in season 3 now, there's 2 of them that are equally, if not more difficult to achieve. And one of them is the leg ornament, and you need 100 super kills for that. And then the chest piece, you need 100 power weapon kills. So, you know, stand by.
So, all right, I'm looking at my progress, and I played 4 matches this evening, enough to knock out my milestone, my call to arms. So I'm sitting at 12 super kills and 9 power weapon kills. So it's doable. It's definitely, I would say, you know, when that was an hour's worth of play, maybe less. So I was able to get 1/10 of the super kills and then almost 1/10 of the power weapon kills. So
nice, man.
I think it'll be easier than the melee and grenade kills, especially with the melee and grenade cooldowns of what they were for season 2. So might not be too bad.
Yeah, they've definitely gotten a little bit better. So again, now this is going to be a perfect segue into our next topic. So we're talking about, you know, cosmetics and Destiny, right? This is, you know, more than half the reason we play this game is the
Bring
loot.
on the hate.
You know, yeah. Oh, it's coming. So today, with the weekly reset and the reintroduction of Iron Banner, and it's back, whatever you want to call it, we knew ahead of time in the database that there was an exotic emote for Iron Banner. We've known about this for a few weeks now in the community, and now it's here. But there's one little problem, and it's that Saladin got his shit stolen by Eververse, apparently. I was hoping we could get the Tower Police on the job because there's a crime going on. No, but all jokes aside, so what's going on is the exotic Iron Banner emote is available exclusively through Eververse in the form of a singular package that is roughly about $10 in value. For those listening out there, that's half the price of the entire DLC for an exotic emote. Now, the big argument, and I'll just kind of get this, we'll get into our opinions here in just a second, but the big picture here is the community is outraged. Why are they outraged? The question, a lot of people are like, yeah, but Fortnite's doing this and this other game's doing that. I don't understand. And the biggest thing about it that everyone's upset about is that this is an emote that should be tied to Iron Banner and its progression system, and it's not. And it seems very malicious on Bungie's end to include it behind a paywall. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start with you guys on y'all's opinions about that. Contra, why don't you go first?
So it sounds a lot like, you know, bait and switch advertising. So first you pay for a DLC, and this is just my opinion. You know,
boom, got him.
Boom. I know, right? But based on like retail scams, right? They offer you a short introduction price. You play this game, you buy it, you buy the DLC, and then boom, all the nice stuff is behind a paywall. So you're left feeling, wait, why did I just pay? And the comparison for example with games like Fortnite is they're free. So there's kind of this different understanding that you are getting a free game, and if you want any of that extra stuff, you get to pay for it. But in games like Destiny, you were already sold the game. On top of the game, you were sold a DLC, and on top of that DLC, another DLC. And granted, there's a way that you can earn, the light currency inside the game by dismantling, other things, and then you can purchase that. But because a lot of those things, the shortcuts are money based. It kind of interferes, I think, with people's mindset because you feel that you already paid for a game, and it's feeling kind of scammy, as opposed to other games that are free, and you go into it with that understanding, and this is how they're going to make money off you to keep the servers on. So that is kind of what I feel is the difference between them, and the feeling between when you go into Eververse and things that you expect to get through a grind, they're now locked behind a paywall. It just feels like a bait and switch.
Eric, how about you?
I'm not so much as an apologist when it comes to microtransactions in games. I don't see Eververse as something that keeps you from advancing in the game. Like anything, there are, don't get me wrong, there are items in Eververse that will help you enjoy the game a little bit more, like the sparrows that you can get that fast summon, the medallions that you can get for boosted XP, the ghost shields that you can get to help you find materials on planets easier. The emotes don't keep me from enjoying the game, so I don't feel like it's that big of a deal. I understand why people are a little bit frustrated with, just the optics of it look bad, I guess. But I'm not of the opinion that this is ruining the game, specifically to emotes. I do think that the specific emote that just came out today is expensive. $10 is a big ask for single emote, and yeah, it's themed specifically at the Iron Banner, so I could see how players would expect it to be obtainable through playing Iron Banner for the week, especially since this is the first Iron Banner of Season 3. Why not make it something that you have to play and progress through Iron Banner, and you might not get it in this first Iron Banner for the season, but maybe the next or the one after that. But it's, if you want it, buy it. I don't see how not having it. And, there are the completionists out there that will say, well, this is a collection game. Now they're putting collections behind microtransactions. But ultimately, when it comes to the base game that you paid $60 for, did you get your money's worth out of that $60? How much time do you invest playing in Destiny? And I guess if you were to do a per hour, $1 per hour, do you feel like you got your money's worth out of the $60 or the $90 that you might have paid for the base game plus the expansions?
Right.
So, I mean, a good analogy. This may or not be a good analogy, but I see it like, so if I go and buy a car, if you go and buy a car, you got to pay for the upgraded leather. You don't, and that doesn't mean if you don't get the leather, you're not gonna be able to get to point A to point B in that same car.
Right.
Well, it's different. It's a commodity. It's an upsell.
Exactly, which is exactly what the emote is. I consider that an upsell.
I think I don't think people have a problem with the upsell part of it. I think they have a problem with whether or not it's tied to the lore of the game, and if it's labeled as Iron Banner, that it should be in the Iron Banner progression system. And I think that's where people have. I think that's why in this particular instance they care. But go.
So there's a Callus emote, but you can. I mean, and you can get it through playing the game.
Right? No, in the raid though only, right?
No. There's the Callus emote that
No.
can get through
There's two though. There's the holographic one is tied specifically to the raid, which is the best one, right? So they did that correctly in terms of what the community expects in the big picture of progression, but Iron Banner they didn't. That'd be like they should. So the argument in the community was like, well, let's just take the holographic Callus emote out of the raid and put it behind Eververse. It'd be the same scenario. People would be just losing their mind,
Sure.
Because in a game where loot is only just starting to become relevant, now, they go and kind of, because we just had this huge debacle about Eververse, right? And it was on the Bungie forums and everything else. Jay, I'm sure you remember. Like, what are your thoughts on all that?
It's Destiny. To me, has always been a loot-driven game. It's always been about loot. Doesn't matter what the loot looks like. It's always been loot-driven. Why do you do raids? Get loot. Why do you do strikes to get loot? Why do you do Crucible to get loot? Yeah, you do it for fun.
I really like the skyboxes, to be honest.
No, well,
no. Anyway,
you know what I mean. Like to me, it's always been about loot, and that's for a lot of people. Have fun. There are people out there who just who are okay with patrolling, and just walking around and just enjoying the skyboxes and shooting enemies. That's fine, no wrong with that. But for me, my Destiny is I like the loot. So when you put stuff that you can't get through gameplay, you get behind a paywall, it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, it's like Fitzy on Twitter today. He's like, my head hurts. Like, we just had this massive uproar about loot boxes in Destiny, and then and then they leveled it out. They took a lot of it out and put it in the progression of the game, and then now this, and it's like, guys, it's like two, it's like one step forward, two steps back. It's like yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he made mention of it, and he made a really good suggestion. Was that why isn't this emote tied to hitting rank 50 in Iron Banner?
Makes sense.
Right. I mean, it could be that, and then if you don't want to do it, then go to the trouble of getting to rank 50. You could buy it if you want the emote. That would make more sense.
Right, the ability to earn it. See, that's the big catch. Is like no one gives a damn if it's in Eververse as long as it can be earned. But this time, this is the only thing in there. All the prismatic matrix and current emotes or engrams rather, the prototype engrams. You can technically earn all this shit in the game right now. Yeah. It's going to take you a while, but it can be done. This Iron Banner thing, you have to pay for it. There's no way to earn it at all. And that's, if they just did that one thing, made it like a rank 50 or something like that, and the option to buy it, no one would have batted an eye.
Exactly.
In fact, a lot of people would have bought it carefree.
Yeah, there wouldn't even be a thing.
Maybe the uproar will be loud enough that Bungie will revise the next Iron Banner, but I think honestly that would piss off a lot of the people that have already bought the emote as of right now.
Right, damage done.
So I do see that, but the flip side is I can't fault a business for wanting money. And that's ultimately you don't have to buy it. You do not. You absolutely do not have to buy it if you don't want it.
Which is the other side of it.
Well, that's a cop out. That's you don't. Well, that's
right.
Whatever the case is, but you don't. You speak with your wallet. We've already we're talking about a luxury item here, and I'm not talking about just the emote itself, but I mean playing video games. To be able to play video games, I consider is a luxury. It's definitely not something you need to do to get by on a day-to-day basis.
Right. So I'll kind of to that point. I do. Yeah, I know, right? You're all wrong. Screw you. No,
your opinion is wrong.
Yeah, but yes, developers. Destiny is a AAA title. It's very expensive, hundreds of millions it takes to make this game, right? So I do agree that they work hard, they deserve to be paid for their time, and that's great. I think I think a great solution, because I'm definitely a type of person that I don't like to bitch about something unless I present at least a suggestion of a solution. And for me, that is, change the Eververse entirely. I don't think removing it is fair, because the developer does need to make money. What I do think needs to happen is they need to get rid of this RNG loot box type of microtransaction system. It is predatory, it's disrespectful to the player investment. Now, once again, it'd be different if Destiny was free, like Fortnite. And then it's all the cosmetics are just pay for, because it's a free game. But the fact that it's not, and we're just getting, more and more microtransactions and putting the most desired pieces of cosmetics behind an RNG paywall or a direct paywall in a looter shooter, I think is a very toxic combination. I believe that there are ways to make both sides happy, and my suggestion to that is add everything in Eververse as a direct buy option, and don't get stingy with the prices. Like this $10 for one exotic emote is asinine. The whole expansion is $20. That undermines your own creation, in my opinion. So sure. I think there should be direct,
I agree.
Yeah, I think there should be direct buy options, and anything like the Iron Banner emote that's like named after a type of event in the game should be tied to that event's progression system, But that's just my opinion.
Now here's the flip side of the argument. So, $10 is too expensive for that emo, and I know you said Fortnite's a different game, but if you go on Fortnite, you pay about the same amount for a skin or anyway. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But like you said, Fortnite's a different game. It's free. And I think that was Bungie's intention. Like, okay, well, Fortnite has this. Maybe let's try this out and see if we can make extra money this way. And it backfired in the face. It backfired. It didn't land as they intended.
I did watch.
I don't know why they would think that it'd be okay.
Let me ask: in Fortnite, are those items attainable in game, or are they the only way to get them is to purchase them?
The only way to get most of them is to purchase them.
Yeah.
There are some that you can.
So that could add up. That could add up really fast. I mean, we're talking about a $60 base game. If we're just talking base game Destiny, right? Versus a free-to-play game like Fortnite, where a skin. How much does a skin cost, or whatever?
It's about $4.99 or
$4.99 for a single character, or however it works. I don't play Fortnite. I don't know a lot about the game.
I mean, depends. They price them differently depending on the occasion.
So
high and low.
Yeah.
What is
$10 and $4.99. Go there. I'll average it out.
Like more like $20 highest, $5 the lowest. But they have a battle pass. So yeah, there are some skins and some emotes you have to pay for, but then you have the battle pass stuff where you can actually earn it in game. So to me, it's weird. It's just the nature of the beast for free to play games. You know what I mean? Like if you go on mobile games, it's the same thing.
Oh yeah.
It's all
right. Mobile games. That's microtransactions. That's where it came from. That's where it started, right? So definitely nothing new. I will say this in terms of Destiny and this whole thing here. There is one more aspect that I was listening to from a YouTube content creator, and they made a very good point, and that is like a lot of this is about the goodwill between Bungie and its community, right? When stuff like this happens with the state of the game currently, another real big reason this is a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths is because a lot of people still don't feel like they got the gaming experience that they paid for, and that is a big deal. A lot of people, especially with Destiny 2. Destiny 2, man, I mean, the
pre-sales.
Destiny seriously almost died completely, and it was just a terrible product that neutered everything about the game that people loved, and that and on top of that, the whole microtransaction system that they implemented that nobody really wanted. and it just left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So when Bungie can regain that good faith, then maybe and add a way to earn the same exact stuff that you can pay for it. I think that will help restore, and not create these situations where they can charge $10 for an emote and not get flack for it. But I also think that the biggest dynamic to me seems to be that Destiny is not a free game and Fortnite is. If Destiny was a free game, then I don't think anybody would bat an eye at what they want to charge for cosmetics, and everybody would pay for it, and they'd make all kind of money.
Well, that's called framing. You take the conversation and then you frame it accordingly. And the framing on this conversation is that, like you mentioned, one game is free, and then you understand that everything else costs extra. But the other one is you paid for, like we keep saying, for a $60 base game, then 2 expansions, and then
right, which a lot of people opted in right in the beginning, full price, all 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
yeah, I was one of those.
Me too. Me too.
Same here.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man, I've been playing Destiny for 2 years. I'm gonna play Destiny 2 for 2 more, and then
pretty much.
then played it for a couple of months and then quit.
Yeah.
It feels like Bungie's created a perfect storm of negativity for this decision. It's like, you had the launch, which was not as good as people thought it would be, and you had the following months afterwards, which was not as good as people expected to be, and then you have this great time right now where it's like, oh, okay, it's getting better, it's getting better. And I think Bungie felt like, okay, well, I think the community's in a good place.
We're just going to ease this back in. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
we're just going to
just slip this $10 charge in.
Slip this little. Hey, hey kids, you like Iron Banner, right? Yeah, we got this new emote.
Let me ask the 3 of you. All right, so say this emote came out today.
Mm-hmm.
$5. Would we be having this conversation?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
because I think so because of the progression. It's labeled as Iron Banner, and people would rather earn it in the Iron Banner progression. Now, if it was earnable and paid for, like I said, I don't think anybody would bat an eye, but because it's literally behind a paywall and it's supposed to be an Iron Banner quotations item, that's why there's a problem.
So
I agree.
Oh, go ahead.
As a community, whoever does that emote, we're gonna be looking at them and calling them sellouts.
You shills.
You know what? I might buy it. I'm saying I've spent more on and gotten less in return in life. So, but
well, thanks for tuning in this week, folks, on Travelers.
TMI.
So,
I'm looking at. I look at that. I look at the emote as, specifically to some of you guys, from a content creator's perspective, you want to be rewarded for your time, right?
Yeah.
Or anything, even as someone with a job, you want to be rewarded for your time. The bottom line is, yes, they are a business, and they provide a product and a service. So I have a hard time faulting someone for wanting to get paid for their time.
I mean, I blame the marketing guy. Hey guys, it's a good time to put that email out. I think,
yeah.
But I just, like I said, I think $10 is a big ask for a single item that does one thing, and just because it has a gold or yellow border behind it, it makes the player feel like, oh well, I gotta get it because it's exotic, but they're asking $10. But
all right, but let's break it down into value. How much was Crota's End?
Like
20, was it 20 or $30?
20.
$20. So in terms of content, let's put it the way you're putting it. In terms of content, you're asking me to pay $10 for an emote.
I think, like I said, I think that's a ridiculous. Right. I think it's a ridiculous price to ask for. I don't agree with the price. I do not.
But put it into that perspective of the DLC. You get this whole new expansion and adventures and design worlds for $20 versus a dance.
Right.
Yeah, it undermines their own creation, in my opinion. It's like Warmind was $20.
That fear of missing out. You only can buy it now.
You know what, though? But they're already getting that whole concept correct in so many other ways, like the Season 3 ornaments for Iron Banner. There's only one way to get them, to play the game. And there's still that fear of missing out, but guess what? You want people to play your game, right? That's how you do it. And if there's an exotic on the side to pay for, that's cool, but can I also earn it? That's where I'll keep circling back to. I'm sorry, but yeah, I agree. The price is really high. The price is ridiculous. Like, and
but to your point, Eric. To your point, Eric.
$5 would be, I think, more reasonable.
Yep.
Still a little high in my opinion, but more reasonable for sure.
I mean, you could do $2.99, and it would sell.
Oh my God, $2.99! That's the magic number, you know. Like,
it'll still cause a controversy because, like you said, you can't.
People don't want to pay for it.
Until they do it where you can earn it, it's going to be a problem every time.
No, I don't think people don't want to pay for it. Like, honestly, if we can,
I'm not buying it.
No, I'm not gonna buy it either.
I'm not buying it. I'm telling you right now.
This is coming from someone who pays for Fortnite skins and emotes.
Hey, you stop yelling at me, okay?
You stop yelling. I'm yelling?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm not gonna buy this emote just for the principle. I can't earn this in the game. You know, it's ridiculous. I repaid money for the game. I paid money for the DLC. Now I got to pay more money for this emote that has a Iron Banner symbol.
That's right, Jay. I'm Daddy Bungo. Give me all your monies. I want them now. All that silver are belong to me now.
Blasphemy! Burn him at the stake.
Burn him. How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
all right. Final thoughts. All right, we're gonna get a yes or no from each person. Contra, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Yes or no? Like, do you like it? Yes or no?
It's a good plan, but badly executed. I like that you make stuff accessible, and we understand Bungie needs to make money, but in a game that offers value for $20, I think that the price is just too damn high.
It's too damn high. Okay, Jay, what about you? All right, Jay, do you like it or not?
Simply put, no, I don't like it at all.
All right, Eric, how about you?
I agree with Contra. I think, and like I said, the price is too high. Their timing is horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
But
stinks.
Yeah, it's to be.
Come on, man. Yes or no? You got to spit it out.
No. I think it's bad. I think the timing.
Put him on the spot.
The timing and the price.
Well, it sounded like you gagged there for a second.
You got to throw up in his mouth a little bit.
Collect the thought, but I couldn't get past the price.
I almost said I liked it.
And honestly, like, I saw a GIF of it, and it's like, well, they're asking $10 for that.
That's so funny.
It's semi interesting, but the price is high.
Yeah.
On it, I really wonder if the price was slashed in half, if the uproar would be. I'm sure it wouldn't be.
Come get these amazing Memorial Day sales in Destiny.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Get your exotic emotes.
On Monday, why not have a sale on it or something?
Come down to Lord Saladin's Exotic Emote Emporium, hosted by Eververse.
Rasputin admits Russian hacking in the elections.
Oh, no, let's not. No, none of that. We're going to edit that out. No. All right, so general consensus, 9 out of 10 critics give it 6 thumbs down. All right, we got it. So, all right, moving on. I can't help that shit was funny. He's like, the price. Oh, hold on.
The price is, it's too damn high.
No, it's just too damn high. So,
but we spend more on.
Oh, now, if we get off into what we spend our money on, well, this will be a whole different conversation. Yeah, we shouldn't do that.
We could just keep going on and on about this all night.
That collection of pop figures is a problem. So,
see?
Yeah. All right, so the next topic we're going to roll into is Guardian Con. So for the listeners who don't know what that is, well, you're obviously not that into Destiny because it's only the next biggest thing since sliced bread in the Destiny community. It's an amazing convention. Originally founded by King Gathalion, Professor Broman, and K-Magic 101, and it started a few years back as a meetup at a bar to which ended up being over 1,000 people. And when that happened, they realized that, wow, we really have something here. So they made an official Destiny Con the year after that, which was its first official iteration, but second technically. And then last August, they had Guardian Con. They rebranded it for legal reasons. And its whole purpose, aside from being awesome and meeting people and connecting with gamers, is to raise money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. And last year, I believe they raised $1.3 million for charity. I'm pretty sure I got that number correct. Amazing stuff. Myself as well as CrayZJaye were both in attendance at the convention, and I gotta say it was just one of the most. It was my first convention I've ever been to in my whole life, and I gotta say I'm really glad I went. I got to meet Jay in person for the first time after being friends for a couple of years now, and I just wanted to speak a little bit about that, what we know about the one coming up. Jay, what was your experience with that last year? How did you like all that?
Last year was my second year. I went to DestinyCon the first time, and then
nice.
GuardianCon. Yeah. So DestinyCon was awesome. It was cool. That was my first convention. I thought it was awesome. GuardianCon was just bigger. It was awesome. I mean, having everyone come over. I had friends. I met Helmet for the first time. I had friends come over, and that I met from Destiny 1, and we've been raiding together for years, and they came over, and first time meeting them. It was a great experience, man. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
And made some great memories. That included breaking of the toilets. That's the story. Yeah, that story's from the other day.
What? Like you broke a toilet there?
How much alcohol was involved?
You were there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, at the Airbnb. I thought you meant like at the convention hall or something. I was like, wait a minute, what? No, yeah, we're in the Airbnb, and freaking Dudley is like, we're trying to figure out what Jay's been gone for like a minute, right? We're just talking. We didn't even notice at first, and then like 35 minutes or so goes by, and like we're like, where is Jay? And then all of a sudden we hear this, man, shut up. Like, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. And then come to find out, he's in there trying to fix the effing toilet because he broke it.
No. Well, in my defense, I didn't break it. It was after a few days of us trying to fix it.
You mean Taco Bell?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there are a few days of Taco Bell.
No. Actually,
you're not used to the fire sauce, are you?
Actually, what I had before that was those damn jalapeno chips. Those things were awesome. Oh my god!
You heard it here, folks. He broke the toilet of an Airbnb with hot jalapenos.
Well, no. It was actually the street. So like, plumber came out, whatever. He was like, "There's something in the street. We try to get this fixed for months. So it's not this toilet.
I guess you didn't get your deposit back.
The deposit broke the toilet.
Yeah, he broke his deposit. The initial deposit's what did it.
Apparently, I broke the street, not the toilet.
Yeah. Look down in there and see all the way to China. That was
the convention. The convention itself. Convention itself was cool. I liked it. I think I had more fun meeting everybody.
Oh, dude, that was the best. Like seriously. So Fireteam Chat, which is IGN's Destiny show, hosted by Destin Legary, Fran Mirabella, CJ Gibson, and Sean Finnegan. It was really cool getting to meet those guys. I've been a long-time listener of their show, and funny enough, I got to actually play against CJ in Mortal Kombat on the arcade machines back there. He totally kicked my ass, man. I still gotta reach out to him to see if we can get a rematch this year, man. It was cool, man. Yeah, the whole convention. I gotta say though, one of the coolest things, so they had live music, they had all the podcast panels. I did get to watch Fireteam Chat live, which is really awesome. Some good friends of ours, Babetron and Petron, actually got engaged at the event. It was really cool. Angry Iceberg
so awesome.
helped set it up, and Babetron, she had no idea it was coming, and they got on stage and Pete proposed to her. So that was really cool to see. They're also longtime streamers and friends of ours. But then, all kind of cool stuff was happening. But the tournament, they actually had, so this is last August. So Destiny 1 was really at its peak, right? The Age of Triumph session was going strong. And they had some of the top gamers do a little tournament there live at the event. And just that was the magic of Destiny right there. That's what we all miss. Watching Luminosity run with his Hunter, and some of the things he were doing were just disgustingly magical, man. I mean, yeah, go ahead, Jay.
I'm sorry. It was such a great. Oh my god, it was crazy. It was so much fun watching that, and like everything leading up to that was awesome because like he was facing I Am. It was it was Bomb Squad versus I Am, and like the interview before that, he was just like, any words for I Am or anything else. It was just like he just said, Triple, you're gonna wish you were you got me on your team instead when I asked you a while back ago. And it's like
oh yeah, he did. He brought the heat too, man. It was the most disgusting. Like he got 2 supers in the matter of like a minute. The crazy backwards shade step, shotgun blast, just the plays, man. I mean, it was top tier clutch moments up front, exactly what you would expect from a professional in any sport of any kind. To see that firsthand and the crowds go nuts was like, man, I cannot wait until Destiny gets back to that. That was so cool.
I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping D2 will get. I'm hoping D2 will get to that point again. Maybe this year Guardian Con will have a D2 competition, and hopefully it'll be just as good.
I hope so. I hope so. But I'm really curious. Speaking of Destiny and upcoming stuff, they did have the community summit with a lot of content creators and stuff like that, and we have a pretty good idea of some things that are probably coming down the pipeline. But one thing that a lot of people haven't gotten hyped up about yet is E3. So we are expecting a big trailer reveal for the fall expansion at E3, and I got to tell you, dude, I am really chomping at the bit to see what that's about. The roadmap and what we know so far is that it should take place in the Reef, but it also may have something to do with Savathun and Prince Uldren and stuff. So really quickly, what do you guys think they're going to show at E3, and what are you hoping for out of this next expansion?
I'll go first. E3, I'm expecting awesome freaking trailer for the Taken Queen expansion. I'm hoping this trailer, I'm not sure. It probably won't show much, honestly. They'll probably show some.
The Taken King cinematic was pretty beefy. I mean, if I remember correctly.
Oh no, I'm just talking about like in-game new stuff they're adding, I don't know, like random rolls, if they're gonna add that, or the new weapon system. I don't know what they're gonna tease. I'm just interested to see what they're gonna do. I want to see anything from it. Give me anything. I just want to see it. But I really want to see their new weapon system and whatever they have for weapon or mod or random rolls.
Some kind of gameplay.
2.0. What are they gonna do with that?
Mods 2.0.
Yeah, we don't know yet. Yeah, I'm hoping they sell us something,
Not literally sell, but yeah.
There is. Let's not get on pricing,
No, I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious as to what they're going to ask. It'll probably be $40.
I think it's going to be $40. That's my guess.
Same.
But for $40, it better be a hell of a lot of the DLC.
Oh yeah, it better be beefy.
I'm curious to see what subclasses, what subclass changes they have.
I forgot about that. We should absolutely expect a new subclass
in E3, whether it's a new subclass or give us back something more than 2 nodes that we can change in a subclass. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm expecting another node. I'm expecting that.
We need a new enemy type for sure.
Yep.
If I don't see something else besides what we've been having, I'm gonna probably lose my collective shit. I'm just saying.
But we just got Icy Hive. What are you talking about?
Hive on the rocks? Yeah, no.
Hive on the rocks. There you go.
Yeah. No thanks. I'm good.
I'm expecting something, some taken-ish type of enemy, like the pyramid strips. So those aren't taken. Those aren't Hive. Those are else.
$2.99 exotic emotes. There, I said it. Let's go. No.
There you go.
Right there. There is one thing that I've failed to mention earlier, but there's a huge thing that's coming at the end of this month, the 29th. There's a big update coming. Well, it's decent sized, and it's going to add, the 2 biggest things it's going to add is exotic armor masterworks. The first round of that, we don't know which pieces yet or anything like that that I've seen anyway. But we're also getting something called Crucible Labs, and this is essentially a public test realm or PTR for the Crucible. Now, we don't know any other details about how they're going to implement that, if it's going to be set loadouts or anything like that, but just the fact that we're going to get that for the specific implementation of sandbox, early beta test sandbox tuning is a huge step forward for me. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's a great idea. It's going to do a lot towards the competitive realm. It's going to help Bungie tune, make the game better. We don't know exactly what it's going to be,
Dude, what if they add, like, the weapon slot changes, but what if they throw that in the PTR for us to try out? They didn't say that. Clarification, they never said that. They haven't said anything. We're speculating, but what if they did that?
That would be amazing. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be amazing.
I wouldn't expect that to happen. Bungie's always played their cards close to their chest when it comes to...
I don't know if they're gonna.
So how much they actually let us taste?
They're not playing them that damn close anymore, though. If you think about it,
they're not anymore.
But then again, they asked us to pay $10 for an emote today, so you never
know.
know.
That's a different story. I mean, as far as it being transparent, that's getting better. That
$10 is transparent as fuck. I'll tell you that.
that $10 is maybe paying for that PTR. So
yeah, man, I'm done.
Help us, rapid fire.
I'm so done, man. 10 Bungie. Bungie.
I wonder if it's gonna be something like PUBG's like test server. They have a separate type of like download for a test server. You know what I mean? So maybe
that would be you guys. I don't know. I've never done it. Y'all, Jay, you've played more PUBG than me for sure.
Yeah. So PUBG, they have the regular server, right? The game, and you can download a test server game, which is the same game except they have they implement the new stuff before it comes out in the full game. So it's broken stuff most times, but they keep fixing it. They keep doing it until it's great, and you play it some more, and they add in the full game, a little while later. So I wonder if they can do that. That'll be interesting. That way, like maybe give us like a just cookie cutter guardian, maybe a hunter with whatever, and then with the weapon slots, new weapon slots, or maybe. Or maybe like in that server we'll get like random roll weapons, just for that server. It'd be interesting.
I think with the way they do their marketing, I wouldn't be surprised if next week we start getting some kind of developer of Vidoc showcasing whatever their exotic masterwork changes are going to be, and then something to do with the public or the PTR or the Crucible Labs. I feel like they'll make some kind of official marketing video for that, and we probably should see it within a week or so, because the 29th is right around the corner. I mean, if they don't show something this week, it'd probably be early next week that they'll preview it for us. And I know everyone's chomping at the bit to find out more on the Crucible Labs, because like you said, depending on how they do it, I mean, I just wonder how limited it's going to be in terms of loadouts and classes and just exactly what it is they're going to do with it. They haven't told us anything.
It's going to be interesting. I'm excited for it. Steps in the right. I feel like always is Destiny. Each base game, vanilla game was not as not as good as we'd like it to be. But ever since then, it's been steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, in progress.
Well, all right, y'all. Well, so that's pretty much going to wrap up the show for this week. We do have Iron Banner to grind. We still have Light Level to grind, most of us. We're still getting over those hurdles. I'm going to be trying to get into some more raids, finish up my Acreus quests, because I'm really late on that.
Shoot.
Yeah. We'll be really interested to see what next week brings for sure, especially with this Crucible Labs coming up on the 29th. So I want to thank everybody for listening this week. Our show is on SoundCloud now. Just look up Travelers Podcast. You can follow the official Twitter at Travelers PC. My name is The Helmet Fire. You can follow me on Twitter at The Helmet Fire, and you can also find me on the Travelers Podcast Twitter.
My name's Erik Digital. You can find me in the tower with my $10 Iron Banner emote.
Yes. Nice.
He's on PS4, so
I'm on PS4. Come flame me there.
PS4.
Nice.
Get him.
Go get him.
You see his name in the Crucible. Gang up on him.
Yeah, there you go. Team shoot him.
I'm an easy kill, so don't worry.
Teabag away. I mean,
Teabag.
respect away.
Yeah, you're getting bagged for that one.
Great
No.
minds. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
Teabag.
My name is CrayZJaye. You can find me on Twitch, same as my name here, CrayZJaye. CrayZJaye. Same as same thing on my Twitter, CrayZJaye.
And I'm Contrabang, and you can find me on twitch.tv/Contrabang and twitter.com/Contrabang. And if you're lazy, just put in contrabang.com, and it'll redirect you there.
Nice. So Angel Zero is also part of the show. Like I said, she's out for a couple weeks here. She's in the middle of moving. You can follow her on Twitter at Angel Zero. It's Z3RO for the last part of that. And once again, this has been Travelers. We appreciate everyone for listening in. We did submit the show to iTunes. Keep an ear out for that. We'll post more updates as they become available. And thanks everybody for being on the show today. We will see you all next time on Travelers.